another agenda going on here with the Black Lives Matter. So now it says he showed his statutes, meaning
this is from blacklivesmatter.com. We foster a queer affirming network.
When we say all Black Lives Matter, we mean Black trans folks, we mean Black queer folks. There's a significant amount of queerness and transness happening on the front lines, and we are it. Like, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
The Black Lives Matter movement was formed in the U.S. in 2013 as a response to the acquittal of the man who shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. It was Black LGBTQ women who started the movement.
We see the kind of marrying of not only Black activism, but LGBTQ activism, and it kind of came together.
There they go, feminizing men again. Then pretend they don't know when we know it's estrogen. Exercise the gin, keynote, lecture with a spin. Meant to get C notes from end to end. Whoever use canola oil, your soul will boil.
Black Lives Matter. They had 3 lesbian women. One of them is married to a Jewish woman that is now transgendered as a Jewish man.
Oh, wow. Cool. This kind of feels like church. All right. Come. We're gonna treat you like the king you are. Don't worry. Okay. All right. That's good.
Well, thank you.
But in the case of a black child born in this country, when he opens his eyes on what we call the big world.
Researching and developing the plan within 7 months of amending the county code. Conducting a feasibility study to timeline the plan to reduce jail.
One would like to channel it so that one can minimize the damage, the human damage. We are living through a revolution. We really are. And there's no way for that to be pretty. But I would much rather that one did concrete.
So now we're going to read the mission statement. You ever went to their website? This is the problem with black people. We go to movements, churches, all kinds of fraternities, and don't research what they're really about. That's right. Watch this.
This is from blacklivesmatter.com. We foster a queer affirming network.
We do what?
We foster a queer affirming network.
Now you notice, sisters, and brother, have you noticed that on the streets when they're marching, they're twerking in front of cops, getting naked in front of cops?
They can't get that, though. They can't get that. They don't know what to do with that. Don't know what to do with that, man. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Damn, see.
Yes, sir.
Yeeks. Yeeks. Man, that's a little show. She's got nice eats. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What is that? They're queers, the LGBT. The Black Lives Matter movement is a front for the LGBT movement. You understand? Keep reading. Guess what? There's more.
We foster a queer affirming network. When we gather, we do so with the intention.
To do what?
Of freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking.
Wait a minute. So, brother, you tell me, what does that mean?
We start with yesterday's protests. You guys are fucking rude. How dare you? How dare you tell people how in the fuck they're supposed to protest how they feel about themselves? First of all, George Floyd protest, Black Lives Matter protest is about defunding the police, fucking prosecuting killer-ass cops, and stop having all of our black men die. Boom, that's one. Second, I support LGBTQ. I have a niece that's fucking fluent. She's only 12 fucking years old and she knows how she wants to love. Pride is a beast in itself. The gay community is a culture in itself. You see people twerking and dancing and getting along. That is the culture of pride.
Alright, so it's clear to see that BLM is all about the LGBT. Because this chick who was there twerking at the protest, wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, is talking all about how she's pride and how this is the culture of pride. They want to sneak the culture of pride into a black movement. You understand? You can see here on the screen, Black Lives Matter at school. So this is what they want to teach to the youth. And before you see anything to do with black, you see transgender affirming, queer affirming, globalism. These are the principles that they want to put into the minds of the young black people. Down at the very bottom, you see black villages, black women, black families. Nothing to do with black men who are the main victims of police brutality proportionately or disproportionately. Because it's not about that. It's not about restoring the black family. It's actually about destroying the black family with lesbianism, you understand? With globalism, with all this talk of allies, you feel me? Because it's all about the allies, because they're all about the mainstream. They have to appeal to the oppressor, because that's how they get their accolades in the mainstream. Being a revolutionary black activist does not come with mainstream accolades and pats on the back from politicians and celebrities and basketball teams. Look at this on the screen. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors signs deal with Warner Brothers. You understand? Signing a deal with Warner Brothers. Cullors' agreement encompasses scripted and unscripted series, etc., animated and kids programming. This is what they want to do. They're going to get into the media now and push this foolishness on the youth. You see, we've got Netflix there. Netflix launches Black Lives Matter section. Time magazine, big mainstream magazines, most influential people of 2020. And this is a mainstream movement. This is not our movement. This is not a grassroots movement. You see that you can clearly see from the evidence I presented that this is all about pushing LGBTQ into the black community and into the society, social engineering. Now you're going to see how this ties into the Great Reset.
About defunding the police.
It's the growing call at the center of the Black Lives Matter movement. Defund the police. This time, the message painted in bright pink letters outside of Toronto Police Headquarters.
I said defund, you said police, defund! Defund!
Thousands of protesters are now calling for money to be taken away from police budgets, and some even want to get rid of the police entirely.
Our commitment is to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department, to end policing as we know it.
But what does that actually mean? And can society run without an active police force keeping things in check?
Foremost important aspect of any smart city is smart policing. And smart policing can happen only with the technology.
The city of the future is smart. It's entirely interconnected, will regulate traffic, save energy, fight crime, assisted by big data and the Internet of Things. Brave new world, or rather a surveillance nightmare. A livable city that can think for itself. How does this work? Like this, for example.
Visions of the future. This is a smart city, as imagined by tech companies and urban planners. Regular streetlights are replaced by smart poles, which connect to other Internet of Things devices and provide broadband. Thanks to driverless cars, accidents hardly ever happen. And drones and robots deliver goods, even coffee.
Sounds fantastic. But in order for these ideas to become reality, technical preconditions are essential. A central role falls to the new mobile communication standard 5G. It's the engine for the Internet of Things and enables interconnected infrastructures on a grand scale.
So while, no, I don't want to be mugged, I want to be in a community that's safe, I don't think expanding surveillance is the way to do that.
What most people like Dee Dee Green don't know is that not only can the video be watched and played back, the system is now equipped with machine learning and can analyze the content of recordings itself without any human oversight. The Crime Center. More and more law enforcement and public safety agencies across the U.S. are buying these kinds of technologies. Motorola Solutions is one of the largest vendors in the space. In Plantation, Florida, the company is showing us some of its newest high-tech gadgets and technologies, which the company only gives to potential law enforcement customers. The demo also includes a drone-mounted camera. Motorola Solutions sells a system that augments drone footage with real-time information.
This is you walking up on the scene, and we're tracking you from the drone feed.
Tialdi attacks and stabs me. When this smart vest is pierced, the embedded sensors automatically notify the command post.
So they can send reinforcements.
It also switches on the body-worn camera.
Because your body camera came on, we actually have a description of who stabbed you.
An analyst from Motorola shows us how, using the suspect's description, he can electronically hunt him down. Motorola Solutions calls this descriptive artificial intelligence. The machine can pull from the pixels a description of a truck, a car, or a person.
It also tries to isolate and pull out a clean shot of the face tile as it's called.
The face tile can be used to refine the search by looking for that same face on other cameras connected to the system.
If you have a long enough period of time, you could begin to see patterns of behavior as well.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Once it knows what to look for, the system can also search backwards in time to track a particular individual's prior locations. This virtual time machine, experts say, is a game changer. It could, in many cases, eliminate the need for officers to track a suspect in person for days on end. Some of these new video analytics tools can detect weapons or unusual behavior.
Direction violated.
Yeah, this is your typical one. So if you're at the airport, you're coming out of these TSA areas. If anybody's walking the direction of the arrows, they're fine. If they turn around and walk in the other direction, it's going to flag the yellow.
The newest usage of artificial intelligence is a camera that will train itself to find unusual movements.
The camera will learn the normal motion activities in a scene over about a week or 2 weeks. And after that learning period, it will just automatically create an event and flag you when something happens that's unusual for that scene. There is zero human input in this situation. You basically turn it on, the camera learns and does everything automatically.
It sounds to me like this is in more places than most people realize.
Well, it is an active and live product today. It is installed in many places across the U.S., most definitely.
One of the things that worries me about the future of policing is how automated it's becoming.
Moss and other experts are concerned that these unsupervised systems make calls on who belongs and who does not. But
到处都是监控。每天装甲车啊，一些坦克啊，在市区里面走来走去，也没有具体的法律规定，没有它的一些尺寸。的民族身份，维吾尔族无业人员有护照，每日礼拜。 这是给人打分，判断这个人是放行人员，还是一般人员，还是不放行人员。
Hamid and other Uyghurs in exile say people categorized as unsafe were sent to study centers for political education.
监控来指定抓什么样的人。
We're doing here at this department is trying to leverage the technology that's out there and make it fit into this mold that is COVID-19.
We're doing here at this department is trying to leverage the technology that's out there and make it fit into this mold that is COVID-19.
Drone also has a flare cam that can read a person's body temperature. Police say they're thinking about putting it in the front lobby to help stop the spread of COVID-19.
Let's say if you have 103 fever, that'll come in handy with letting us know from at a glance, are you somebody who possibly has the virus?